Good morning, everybody. Oh, we have a weird thing. There we go. We're going to go YOLOing. So we got 272 to play with today. So you know what's going to happen. I think you guys can all predict my moves today. The YOLO today is going to be 270 across. We're going to start the Philly special level today. This is perfect. It makes a nice, easy bet, right? We will take our 270. We're going to go $2 on any craps. Again, it's just a throwaway bet. I don't need the $2, but here we go. 270 across. Looks like a quarter here. We're going to go with $60 on the 6 and 8. We're going to go, I need to get some nickels in here for those. The 5 and 9 look like 40. The 4 and 10 look like 35. So it's 35, 40, and 60. 270 across for our YOLO today. 270 across, $2 on the any craps. And hell, let's make some magic, guys. Here we go. One roll. I've been YOLOing basically all freaking week with that other strategy. Here we go. What does it look like to win in one roll? Come on, Johnny. Let's go. I'm like nervous with fake money here. Oh, you son of a bitch. Figures, right? 7. Damn it. All right, I guess we're going to start over again on the freaking YOLO. The YOLO's having a tough time this go around. We've burned this shit twice now. Ah, what a bummer. Oh, well, it's fake money. And it was $64. We're going to go into the hole for 50. I'll do it right here. 50, 60, $4. We're going to start it again. We're going to start it again tomorrow, I guess, right? Another YOLO. Wow, we burned that YOLO bankroll twice, and it's probably about what you'd expect. This is actually such a perfect way to talk about this. Let's go over here to the screen. I want to show you something. Let's go and pull up let's pull up the totals. All right. Let's see here. We got another one. Let's go here and type that in. Oh boy. We got 524. No, 525. We skipped yesterday. 525, 2023. We went in for 272. We got a freaking 7. We won nothing. We won actually minus 272. Whoop, let's do that again. Minus 272. And this should carry down and make it a 0. And we'll make that look like a red bar because it's gross. And let's take a look at something interesting. We had how many outcomes? We had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 outcomes. And guess how many 7s? 2, right? We're actually trending a little higher. You'd expect to see. No, actually, it's right? 1 out of 6, 2 out of 12. We actually outperformed a 7 by 1 roll. Yesterday, the last one was the miracle roll, right? You should see a 7 1 out of every 6 times you're out there. Whether or not, let's get over here. Whether or not you're out here once a day for 6 days, or once a roll for 6 rolls in a row, you're going to see the 7 every 6 times. And that's the truth. That is the truth. That is the truth. Can't say it anymore. That's the freaking truth. That's the way this shit works, guys. The 7 is a powerful son of a bitch, right? And that's why we had the conversation with Ed and I the other day about the 5 count, right? The 5 count is bullshit. It's the worst idea ever, other than it sold a bunch of books for Dom, right? It's awful. It doesn't matter when your bets are out there, okay? The 7's coming on average every 6 rolls. Okay, every 6 rolls on average. The average shooter lasts 8.5 rolls because of come out sequences and that kind of thing. The 7's going to come on average every 6 times. Shit run or go blind, that's what's going to happen to you. It doesn't matter if you wait 5 rolls and then go out, right? Every time you wait 5 rolls and go out, every time you're out, 6 of those, 1 out of every 6 of those times, you're going to burn that bet. It's just the way math works. You cannot escape that. Okay, things you have to embrace. If you're a DI, okay, 1 out of every 7 times. Same shit, right? It doesn't matter. The longer your bets are, or for as many times as your bets are out there, as how many times you're going to get beat. You got to know that. You got to know that, right? You got to know that. You got to plan for that and be aware of that. Waiting for something to happen, waiting for a roll to end before you go back out again, doesn't make a hill of beans difference. It doesn't make a difference. 1 out of every 6 times your bets are exposed, you're going to get beat. It's just the nature of the beast. You got to just know that that's what's going to happen. All right, let's talk about the D I don't. Here we go. We're 3-1. We're minus 407. Here's what's going to happen. Okay. Tomorrow, I'm going to win $500, right? We won $500 today in one roll. Got lucky. Yesterday got super unlucky. Tomorrow, I'm going to win $500 and we're going to be at $96 in profit. It's going to be a profitable strategy. It'll be one of those ones that goes 4-1 and it made money, right? Which is, it's not telling the whole story. I think we saw the whole story today and yesterday, right? That thing can be a grind, and it's a horrible grind. Let's talk about a couple things. First, I'm gonna get to some comments here. First of all, Sideshow, we'll talk about this in a minute, but craps for the cure, I know you probably have to go, is we're looking at November 11th in Las Vegas. I'm working with David over email to try and lock in for sure that day on their calendar so we know it's solid. I can start talking about tickets and everything else, right? So that's the weekend. The weekend after that is the race. So I expect that weekend to be a little bit crazy town for us. We're going to have a lot of construction and stuff going on, but it's also Veterans Day weekend, which makes the most sense to raise money for PTSD. So I think that's the lock-in for that one. The other thing is this, and on sub here, Victor says, again, this is the fight that you guys got into the other day, but I'm going to talk to you about this again. And I'm going to speak to the camera as in clear words as I can say this. The title of the strategy is not misleading. It's not misleading. It's exactly what it should be called, okay? The DI don't. You're playing the don't pass as a DI, right? As a DI, I figure I can beat the 7 on the come out, right? As a DI, I'm good enough to beat that 7 and not have that be a problem so I can get that don't pass bet through, okay? As a DI, I feel like I can probably place that number and guarantee that win. As a DI, I feel like I've got now room, if I wanted to, place bets within the theoretical win of the placed don't bet. That gives me the ability to go out there and play risk-free. The whole point of the strategy is, can I throw good enough to beat the 7 on the come out? Can I throw good enough after that to win in the box? I'm showing you one piece of that strategy, which is beat the come out 7, hedge the point. That's it, okay? And it's not even a hedge. It's a purposeful blocking of the point. You set a point, you block the point to lock in whatever it's going to be, $100, 150, whatever it is, so you can place bets or come bets in that amount. The whole point of the strategy is for DIs to beat the come out roll on the dark side. If you don't understand that, I can't explain it any clearer to you than that, but that is the reason for the title, right? If you're not a DI and you can't beat the 7, don't fucking play it. Because the strategy, as you saw, when it's random, sucks, right? At best, it's 85% win rate. At best on random. At best on a DI, it's a 95, okay? Even then, that's the point of it. You got to pay attention to what I say all the way through, Victor. It's not just you, but other people too. This is the reason for the name of the strategy, okay? There's a purpose behind why we're doing what we're doing, okay? I'm not surrendering the point. It's a purposeful attack on the point. Set a don't, hedge the point, place the difference. That's the entire thing. It's not hard. I know the math. I know the math better than everybody else out here. Trust me, I've done the math on this thing. I'm not saying it's great math, but I know the math, and there's a reason behind it. It's not a surrender, it's an attack. It's an attack on the number. And if you can't see that, I can't make you see it. I'm sorry. It's not a good attack. It's not making us any money. I didn't say it was a great strategy. I'm saying there's a purpose behind it. And if you don't understand the purpose, you don't belittle the purpose. There's a purpose there. It may not be working, but you can't rename it what you want to, right? You can't make claims that aren't true. And that's just the fact of the matter. That's just the way that this thing works. I can't explain that any other way, right? The point of the strategy is to place the point. The whole point of it is to do that and lock in X. Either lock it in as profit or lock it into play. That's the whole point. And again, you need a DI to do it. All right, here we go. Your internet here probably, I'm sure your internet over there does suck. It's bouncing off of crabs and freaking sand and everything else. All right, here we go. Let's get to the table. I want to really talk about what I was getting at in the garage, and I think this is going to be really boring. So y'all put yourselves a gin or something, and lock in here, because this is going to be a little bit boring. But we have to talk about this. Yeah, I'm with you, right? I don't like it, but I get it. You have to get it, but don't like it. It's totally cool. I don't care if you don't like it. It's not proven itself to be solid, right? So that's fine. But you have to get the theory. The theory is where it's at. And here we go. I want to talk about it because there's things that people don't like about it. and let's get through it. This is going to be one of those demos, I'm sorry, where I'm going to have chips everywhere. But I really want to go through all the probabilities with you, make sure we all understand all what can happen. I'm going to take this bankroll here that was from yesterday. Give me a second to clean this crap up. And we're going to use all the chips here to show you what's possible to win and lose on this thing, okay? And I will use the $500 level because it's easy. The numbers are easy to add, so we'll do it at that level. Let's see, let's get these out of the way. I have too many same colored chips here. All right, here we go. Let's look at a $500 bet. So we have $500 at risk. That's going to be the risk level. Okay, we're risking $500 to win what? And we got to figure out what the average is. All right, let's take a look. Assuming this thing gets placed, we'll take a look at what gets placed up here because we know that's the possible loss. All right, on the 10, if we place the 10 for 350 and the 4 also for 350, okay, you're going to set the 10 and 4 as points 3 times. So 3 times, you're going to win 150, okay, which adds up to 550 bucks, right? Is that right? 150 times, no, 450, right? 450 is your potential win on the 10 and the 4. Let's put it right here, okay? Again, total outcomes is going to be that. That's your total number of outcomes on the 4 or 10. On the 7 that comes, or that's on the 7. When the 4 or 10 roll at 350, you win 700, you win 200 bucks. You're going to win 200 3 times. I think I got that wrong. You're going to win, I'm sorry, I'm wrong about that. Let me state that again. On the 4 or 10, 6 times you're going to win 150. My bad. 6 times you win 150, it's 900 bucks, right? 3, 6, yeah, right? Yeah, 900 bucks. You're going to win 150, the 450, 3 times, right? That's your total potential win on the 4 and 10. They're actually pretty good for you, right? But the 500 bucks that you have at risk to do that is the offset here, right? So you're risking 500 bucks to win. Let's just take the 10 as an example, right? 3 times to win 200, which is 600, right? Yeah, and 6 times to win 150, which is, as you know, 450, 450 bucks. Okay, so your total potential wins, if you get this bet out, is going to be this: 600, 1,050. Let's do it like this: 1,050 on the 10. That's your best possible scenario of all the ways to win on the 10. 1,050, right? However, this bet here is going to lose 8 times, right? All the possible outcomes. This loses 8 times. How much is that? What's 500 times 8? $4,000. Okay, so you're going to risk a total of $4,000 to win 1,050. That's what you're faced with here. You're risking 4,000 on just the 10. Right? Let's take a look at the other ones now. You're risking 4K to win about $1,000. We're going to take this here, by the way, this potential win on the 10, the 9, the 8, and take this $4,000 that we're looking to lose here and match it up against all the possible combinations. Check out how we're going to do this, okay? On the 9, you have 4 times you're going to win 60 bucks on the 9. When you set a point of 9, 4 times it wins 560 if you set it for 400 bucks, right? That's 4 times 6 is what? 240? 220 and 40. And 6 times on the 9, you're going to win 100 bucks. So that's 600 bucks. So your total potential for the 9 is 860 bucks. Let's make that look like a purple chip. 860 is your total for the 9. Let's put that out there like this. The 9 will be 860, the 10 will be the 1050, right? The 8 and the 6 suck. At 450, you're going to win 50 bucks 6 times. So 300 bucks. You're going to win 25 bucks 5 times. So 125. 6 and 8, your best case scenario is 425. Let's do it for both of them. 425. And the 5 again, we can do, what is it, 740 for the 5? 500, 725, 40. I'm gonna put all the possible wins out here for all the numbers. You can see what all the possibilities are, okay? And the 4, like the 10, can win 1,050. That's all my chips. Every chip I got is in the rack, right? There's all your potential wins. If everything comes out according to probability, here's what's gonna happen, okay? You're gonna lose 8 grand or 4 grand on the line. That's gonna cost you 4K in losses if probability holds. What do you stand to win up in here? If everything goes your way, what do you stand to win? Well, here's 1,000, 2,000, I'm gonna keep more there, 2,000, there's 3,000, 3,000, 400, 800, 4,000, 150, 4,180 bucks, right? 4,150, yeah, 4,180. So if it all works out, you're gonna win 180 bucks. So you're risking 500 to win 180 bucks. That's what this boils down to. Ultimately, right? Ultimately, you're gonna lose if everything holds right. You're gonna lose 4K on the 8 ways to lose that. You're gonna win all these times. Once you get points set, your ultimate thing is 180 bucks on the total 180 for 500. Compare that, like I said before, to 640 across. Where 640 across, you're risking 640 to win 140. What's the better bet, Victor? What's the better math? I know this guy that's ass tore up this week, right? But if you look at the total universe of outcomes, that's the possibility out here, right? What can happen to you. Now, you can take all that away and compare that to the dolly, right? Or just a 1-point flat don't bet over time and see where that thing levels up to. But here again, here's your total outcomes. There's 24 ways to win up in here. 24 ways to win versus 8 ways to lose. All told, right? 4 grand to win 180 bucks. That is the actual math behind this whole thing. And I'll even make these look easier for you to see. There's 500, 1,000, 1,200. And there it is, okay? Let's make sure I got the math right. I think I might have counted that wrong. There's 2,000, 3,000, 4,000. Did I get that right? Oh yeah, look at 4. I was wrong. 300, 330, 43. I know I counted wrong. 43.30. Actually, you're risking 500 to win 330. That's actually not as bad as I thought it was. If everything works out. If everything works out the way that it ought to. That's interesting, right? That's the point. That's the reason why this thing happens. Now, let's do the other one again. So everybody who wasn't there for the morning show can see this. 640 across. And again, 64, 640, doesn't matter. I'm just the chips I have in front of me, right? 640 across to win, on average, 140. There's your 140. That's your average win here. You're risking 640 to win 140 versus risking 500 to win 330. I mean, percentage-wise, that's a better play, what we just showed you, right? Rhythm-wise, that thing gets crushed a little more often, right? So I think that it's important to understand that math. I think it's important to understand the way things win, when they win, how they win, and make sure that our numbers are right. Okay, that's an important piece. I think I got the numbers right? On the 10 and the 4, again, you're gonna win 200 on the 10 3 times. You're gonna win 150 on the 7 6 times. That's the way that once that bet's placed, that's the math on that, right? There's gonna be 9 outcomes there, right? And you gotta embrace that piece of it. 9 outcomes. I just think you can't just poo-poo things because you don't like them, right? Now again, the better bet might be this, right? If the 500 bucks just sticks where it is, let's get all these out here, right? The 500, if you just go 500 bucks, like, hey man, I beat that freaking come out. That risking 500 to win 500, okay, that's a 1-to-1 risk versus a 500 to win, less than 500, 300 and change or whatever it was, right? That's a better bet. However, your loss percentage changes based on this, right? The other one, once it's out, you have a 22% chance to lose this bet here. Once it's up here, you have a 40% chance or a 6% chance to win it. Much better case once it's through than before it's through. So let's get back over here. Hope that all makes sense. I know I go fast with this stuff sometimes, but you got to remember what. Oh, with the light off. The way that things win and lose when you put these strategies together. Man, I'm sorry, it's so weirdly dark in this room today. It's weird because the sun's out, but we're not getting any juice in here. I don't know what's going on. Maybe it's my camera. Let's see, 700. No. One roll. We're talking. Yeah, it's one roll. We're talking about the one outcome, right? So I'm giving you what I'm giving you here, Jen, is this. It's one outcome. Right, one potential outcome. Right, what is the average outcome you're going to see? Maybe we should average that out up top, right? You can look at the average outcome and say, look, let me do it over here. Let me do. It was, what was it? 3,000. How much was it? Ah, crap! I lost my math. It was 3,000. 4,330. Right, divided by 24 outcomes or whatever that was. You're right. Let me fix that. 4,330 was the total amount you could win versus the $500, right? So the total win, $330 divided by the number of possible outcomes, which is 36 possible. Well, you got to take the horns out of it. Divided by 24 possible outcomes, right? No, by 30 outcomes. Okay, that's the number. Sorry, Jen, you're right. 30. It's $11. There we go. It's $11. Right? Is that right? So 330 $330. Jeez, John. What did I do? I just lost you all. Hold on. There we go. If it's 330 outcomes, or $330 total, oh my God. I'm typing in your chat. Total potential wins. 30 outcomes that make that equals an $11 average, right? Is that what we're saying? Versus the 640 across, it's 140 is your average win for the 640. Is that right? Maybe I'm getting my head wrong, my math wrong. I think that's right. I think that's right. Right? It's terrible. It's terrible. But that's what it is, though, right? And I think when you look at it like this here, it's tough, right? There's snake oil, Ken. Yeah, There's, if everything works out, right? For the one bet you have to resolve. That's the thing. It's one bet has to resolve. The don't pass bet resolves either against you or for you. That's it. And there's all the ways that it can possibly happen. That's what you're looking at. I think I got to redo that up there. I got to redo the math up there because that was a quick example of what's likely to happen. And again, you look at all those outcomes that are possible. If everything works out the exact number of times it's supposed to work out, that's what's going to happen to you, right? It's 330 net over 36 rolls. Yikes, right? Again, you're all still upside down, right? It doesn't matter, right? The 640 for 140. Or the 500 for 330, you're still upside down. It doesn't really matter, right? Ultimately, it doesn't matter because we're upside down. I think this one's got problems. I think it's got problems, and I think we tried to fix it this week, and I couldn't do it, right? I tried everything I could think of. We can do lay bets tomorrow, but I don't know it's going to help it at all. I really don't. Let's get back to other stuff. Let's get back to other things that are more interesting than that strategy. Just to remind you of this, I got to get with Potter and see if we can do this tonight. Nemo, if you're still in chat, what is your schedule tonight? Victor, come back. You know what? And I did it yesterday, right? I'll go back to the screen. I love come betting. You know me, I love come betting. And I think in this strategy, once you get the don't through, a couple of come bets works out. Come bets that equal your win can work out, right? That's a good rhythm play, I think. You did talk to Potter. Okay, what's going on? Can you guys do it tonight? I didn't write to him yesterday. I forgot to. Okay, cool. Let's figure it out then. I'll talk to you guys later on today privately about what time. We'll get that figured out. So yeah, so tonight we'll film the Friday night fight, and tomorrow it'll air. All right. I had nothing else to talk about today. I actually, again, this strategy has been the yeah, right. Let's talk about that, Anthony. I was really stoked on Sunday because, and here's the thing. I can sit here and let's go to the table. Let's go back here again. I literally will sit here with you all day long. And last night's a good example. I ran this thing and it worked over and over and over again, right? The more I run it, the more it works until I go out there on the big table and absolutely destroy it with real money. For whatever reason, it gets toasted, man. I don't know what it is. And I've been through it. Ken and I have talked a lot about it. I really want it to work. I was very excited to see it because it's got potential. And like I said, it was built around, can I throw this good to make this thing happen, right? That was the whole freaking point of it. It seems like the answer to that question is a no. And here, let's do it again. Let's get $1,000 in the rack, right? And let's do it one more time. And let's talk about every option that we got. I'm going to do the DC option, by the way. Let's get a point. I'm just going to zoom in here. There's a 10. Happened to be there. If I just do at the $100 level, right, which I think is a decent little starting point. We can do some regression up and pull with this thing and try it out. There's a 3. So, hey, paycheck, right? There's 10%. You're in. We'll keep rolling it out. There's a 5. Okay. No iron cross. Let's just place the 5 for $80. Take our win. Take our guaranteed win and go home, right? And again, I'll even give you that $100 back. I'll even give the people who say bonus win shouldn't count, right? Here's my argument to that, right? Okay, that was an easy win, paycheck, and you feel like a champion. How many times am I going to lose in here? That's got to offset that. We might even put those over here to show the offsets, but those easy days like we had today have to be considered. Okay, here we are. 7 rolls, $80 on that, wins 20. Net of $20, there's my profit stack. I'll bring this all back. Okay. Starting bankroll. There's $100. There's 900. There's 100. There's 120 in profit. Okay, see what I mean? I'm sitting here at home and I'm going, okay, this is working out pretty well for me. Ace deuce, nobody cares. This time I'll play it, there's a 7, nobody cares. We would have, again, back and forth down there. 10 again, sweet. 10, 100, lay it for 200, right? Guarantee my 7 comes out. All right, I'll fight the 10 versus the 7, okay? That's a way to help. There's the 7, 437. It wins $100 minus $5 in VIG, and I'm safe. Starting bankroll's clean. I got my money, and we're good. 8. Do it again. There's the 8. I will lay the 8 for, how much should I lay the 8 for? 120. Lay it for 120 for 1 roll. Again, no ricochets, please. There's a 7. Again, win back our 100. Right? This comes down. We lose this. It pays 100 for 5. And for $5, we're safe again. $4. Again, the math of this thing feels good in some places. There's $100 and they don't. We're going to lay the point for 2. We got a 5. That goes to the 5. The lay can come down. 5 goes placed for $80, and we're locked, right? This is the whole point. You lock it in. But again, I can sit here all day long on my practice table and make this son of a bitch work, right? And look at our profit, right? We got whatever we got here, 130 in profit, actually plus some of this, right? It feels easy, and I'm going, this thing is a winner. It's a winner until I get the dice in my hand and I start shitting the bed in here. And I think that's the reason why, Anthony, I was excited on Sunday. Like, this is going to be fun this week. This is going to be like printing money because it just, every time you get this, you're printing money. This is a money machine in here, right? The problem is this and that. The impact of that was catastrophic. And I want to reiterate this to you because this is an important point. People who say, and I'm one of them, right? I don't like the pass line, right? I don't like the pass line. I like a come bet. I don't like the pass line bet. For whatever reason, don't judge me. And the place bettors would say to you this: $30 6 and 8 versus a come bet, right? This makes no sense, right? It's a one roll advantage. It's a one roll advantage. What's the big deal about the one roll advantage? Once it's up here, now you had to, right? I'm going to tell you what, a bet in the come or a bet in the don't come, you saw it today. My bets in the don't come, how many times those bets fall on that 7 today? They fell 3 times, 4 times on the 7 today in the don't come. Those are come bet winners. How many times yesterday did my don't pass bet get its ass kicked? 6 times, right? 6 times we lost in the don't pass. Those are winners down here, okay? That one roll bet that people say, this bet sucks so bad when a come bet travels, it's not worth the one roll advantage you have in here. Yes, it is. That one roll advantage is freaking huge. You saw it today in the DC out in the garage. You saw it yesterday on the DP out in the garage. That one roll of getting your tail kicked in here has been the bane of the don't pass players for so long. That's why that bet is really pretty good. Ultimately, that's a good bet, and that's a good bet. Because that advantage is a ridiculous one. And when it comes down to it, when you're out here and you're saying this, put this all back in the rack for a minute. When you're saying, I'm going to drop 2K on that thing, right? How's that one roll advantage feeling to you now, right? How's that one roll advantage feeling to you right now? I got a pretty good chance of winning that 2K right now in the one roll. That's a huge ass advantage, right? That's a huge ass clinch right there on the don't pass when you have 2K on it, or 1,000 or 500. That's a potential disaster. And you saw how important one roll is. So don't discount the pass line. Don't discount the come bet as a great bet, because that one roll is enormous for that bet. It's enormous. It can't be understated how big that one roll is. 22.5% of the time that bet resolves on that one roll. That's 1/5 of the time, almost a quarter of the time, that bet resolves on one roll. It's ridiculous, right? Don't forget that, right? And again, I know I'm the worst defender because I don't love the pass line. I like the come bet. I don't like the pass line. And it's just for stupid reasons, right? It's just me. Those bets are powerful. That one bet, that one roll is such a powerful thing. And we've been seeing it all week long. And I think if nothing else, this week should highlight that. Just how insanely powerful the one roll is. So there it is, guys. That's really all I got. I wanted to kind of decompress this whole week in today because Anthony's right. I was really stoked about it on Sunday, and it's like, didn't work out for me, right? It didn't work out. There's that one roll is too much. And the other thing too, I think that this turns me to, let me go ahead. I might as well just stay at the table because I got more things to say. That this turns me towards is this. And I think this is one of the problems you have with hedgers, right? And hedge style betting. And ultimately, you can call this what you want to, right? This ends up being a hedge on the number, right? It ends up being a, $500 no 6. It ends up being a 450 or on the 8. It ends up being 450. It's a hedge, right? It ends up being here. And what you end up doing is you need a bigger number here to make this not suck so bad, right? Look at that. I mean, your best outcome is $50 on a $450 bet. Your best outcome here is $50. To make this meaningful, this bet back here has to be $2,000. You start getting into I got to bet $2,000, right? So that I can put $1,900 or $1,800 out here. Right, then I'm going to put 1,800 out. Okay, cool. Right, the bigger the bet behind, the bigger the bet in the front. $2,000 at risk to put $1,800 out there. What's your best outcome here? $200 is your best outcome. Huge bets to win little tiny money. this type of strategy, although again, the lock makes sense. Theoretically, I like it. This happens when we try and out hedge ourselves. And I think Skill did a thing called the moon bow a while back. And if you remember the moon bow, right, it had the $300 on the don't. I think it was $300 on the don't. Was it 3 or was it 5? I think it was 5. I think it was $500 down here. And then you had the $900 lay up here, right? And everything becomes enormous bets, big, giant ass bets. At the end of the day, what you end up with, after all the enormous bets and the huge amount of risk that you have, $900 on this 9, what did you end up with at the end of that whole thing? You end up with this, 154 or 135 across. That was it. All of that resolves to this. And even then you need to get a hit to show profit, right? I'm not belittling the strategy, but when you're hedged off, you need such big bets. You need to increase the size of these things to the point where it's almost ridiculous to make a couple of bucks, right? I was talking to Alfredo yesterday, and I've asked you this question before. Theoretically, what's better to do? Is it better to go 330 across, take a hit, go down to 64? Huge risk for one roll to get your bet paid for, or is it better to just start at 64 across and build your way up? Right? Lose the 64 a bunch of times versus losing the 330 a couple of times. What's better? Right? Big bets to win a little tiny bit to fund your way through. That's a tough way to make a living. It's a tough way to make a living. I like a regression, but you got to be a little bit careful about what you're looking at, right? How much you're going to put out there to risk for it. So I think that, to me, is a thing we all have to be thinking about. And this strategy highlights that. The bigger you got to get to make the wins meaningful, right? That iron cross, that's $500. $500 to win $100, right? You need that thing to be so high to make the bets meaningful. It becomes out of reach, right? It becomes out of reach. And I think that's definitely becoming apparent when you watch these things play out over multiple days. You go, man, it's just really difficult to make the big bets pay off because they got to win so often. So there it is, guys. Less dollars, good volatility kick, right? I think it's interesting. I think that's that's right. I think the lower the volatility, to me, generally speaking, pretty better. I like a regression, but boy, you gotta be careful. Right, that one roll of 330 out there can make you sweat a little bit. All right, yeah, no player advantage. Yeah, Jen says off the list. Ken, we gave it our best try. Right, I worked it for 4 days. I was excited about it on Sunday. I think the way you're doing it with the full place of the number, better win amounts when they happen. You're going to tie most of the time. You're going to risk $500 to tie 60% of the time. And that makes it hard. You got to get a good run of dice to make that happen. So we tried it, man. I gave it everything I had. I tried. I thought. We tweaked and tweaked. And it's just, the numbers are just, it's too big of a risk for too tiny of a reward. It just doesn't work. So, all right, guys, I'm done. I am done. Let's have a good Thursday. Nemo, I'll talk to you in Potter privately. We'll get this thing dealt out. And yeah, with that said, everybody, thanks. Again, I can't thank you enough for all. Let me go to the final thought screen here. I can't thank you enough for the week. I know it feels like I've been fighting with you all week long, especially Victor. I'm not fighting with you. I'm passionate about this play because it gives me reasons to talk about stuff. I get reasons to talk about the spread of like big risk, tiny reward. I get reasons to talk about how powerful that one roll is on the come out. This highlights all those things for us, and it just makes me dial into it. Let's chat about, understanding where the danger comes from and understanding the risk reward. I think it's really, really important, right? Really important that we all have those top of mind because everybody thinks they've got this thing solved. Nobody has it solved. This one here we thought was a potential, but no, that come out roll, no matter how good of a shooter you think you are, too damn big. Too damn big. The hole is way too freaking big. The hole is just too big. There it is, guys. I am out. Yes, the shirt is awesome. By the way, this is Ian Olsen, the Double Deuce Craps shirt. It is awesome. And you know what else, Jen? The shirt is awesome. and I'm making this thing look really good, right? Black is my color, I think. Black is my color. It shows the tats off well. Love it. Love it, love it. You all have a great day. I will see y'all tomorrow. Friday Follies. I'm not doing this one. I was going to do this one at like Giant Money. I'll think of something fun for tomorrow. I'm tired of thinking. This week was pretty taxing, trying to think through the strategy and make it work, but I need a break. Tomorrow's going to be just a fun day. So I'll see you for Friday Follies. And that's it. Y'all have a great Thursday, and I'll see you. God bless everybody. Goodbye. Thanks.